Hi, I'm Ama Opari, and we just got back from the pool. But before I go in and take my shower, I wanted to talk to you a minute about how keeping a journal can make all the difference in the world when you're trying to make diet and lifestyle changes and lose weight. I'm Ama Opari, a plant-based lifestyle coach, coming to you from beautiful Arusha, Tanzania. And here at Opari Institute and Food for the Soul, I share tips and tools you can use for creating a sustainable, lifelong, plant-based lifestyle so you can be who you're meant to be and do what you're called to do. If that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to push the subscribe button down below and turn on the notification bell so you'll know whenever it is I post new videos. So let's get started. I'm here outside in my Tanzanian yard, and you can hear the chickens from the neighbor. Keeping a journal is one of the first things that both Nana Kwaku Opari, my physician and nutrition husband, and I tell our patients and clients when we're working with them to help them make diet and lifestyle changes. What we've seen is that those who do keep their journal have much better results than those who don't. It really is a key part of making lifelong change. It helps you discover your triggers, your patterns, your strengths, and your weaknesses. It helps you set your goals and track your progress towards reaching them. And it enables you to do one of the most important parts of making this type of a change is really get to know yourself, some real deep self-understanding. Because otherwise, it's very easy to fall back into old patterns, old addictions. But journaling can be a struggle for some people. I know it's always been a struggle for me. You stare at a blank page and you just don't even know what to write. How about you? Are you a journaler? Do you love journaling? Or do you struggle and not know what to write? Maybe you get started for a little while and then after a few days or weeks you fall off. I'd love to know how you feel about journaling. Leave me a comment below and say, I love journaling, or I always have trouble with journaling, I hate journaling, whatever. Leave us a comment below. It can also be really hard to make sense out of what it is your journaling is telling you. If you just have pages and pages and pages of words and words and words and words, it can be difficult to see as you go back in time to try to analyze what your journal is telling you. It can be difficult to figure out. And that's a key part of the journal, is to be able to use what you've written to see what's going on and make the changes you want to make. Well, for me, that all changed when I discovered the bullet journal system. It allowed me to create a framework for my journaling that helped take away the blank page syndrome and help me be able to really see very easily what's going on. It also opened the door to some new items I could put in my journal that helped me track my habits and really stay on track with what it is I'm trying to do. So I've created a template that you can use for your journal, and at the end of this video I'll show you how you can get a copy of that template. So stick around to the end and you can download it and use it in your own journal. Now, even if you don't know anything about bullet journaling or you've tried bullet journaling in the past, I encourage you to give this a try. Now, if you go online, you look up bullet journaling, you'll see all kinds of fancy things. Some people make it artwork. You know, they use calligraphy and doodling and drawings and watercolors and scrapbooking on their pages, and it looks like it takes a whole lot of time. In fact, when I first heard about bullet journaling, that's what I saw, and I said, oh no, this is not for me, and I couldn't really make sense of it all. But once I learned what the basis of it is, and really it was created by a man named Ryder Carroll who has ADD, and used the journal to help him make sense out of his life and keep him on track to reach his goals. And So I came back around to it another time, and I thought, you know, I think I could make this work for me. And I began to implement it in my life, and it's made a big difference in both keeping me on track business-wise, you know, in all parts of my life. But really, it's been a big difference in my health as well. And one of the beautiful things about it is that you can take this template, this idea, and really turn it into whatever it is that you need. Now I want to show you how this system can work for you. So let's go inside and take a look at my journal and the template. Okay, so here we are with the journals, and I'll show you how I've been using my journal and what the template is. And so right now I'm just using this 3-ring cheap old notebook because that's just what I can find here. But what I recommend is that you find something like a hardbound, or, you know, it could be soft bound, but a bound book. And you can get a lined version, but I don't think this is the best option. The best option was to get either one with this grids, the squares, or even better, I don't have one to show you, I'll show you a screenshot of one, is it just has the dots at, you know, the intersections of the squares. And that, it gives you a lot of flexibility and makes it easy to make boxes if you want to have a box, as you'll see in the templates, or you can still use it as lines to write on. If you have dots or squares, it just gives you a lot more freedom in what you do. So like I said, this is the one I've been using, and so I have an index to start with. This shows where different things are in the book. I have a habit tracker, and I'll go into more details on all of these, that tracks the things that I want to do on a daily basis, like my Qigong or Kenko Taiso, walking, strength things, meditate, pray, whatever the things is that you want to do. A habit tracker really can help with that. A month, here's the month of November, and the things that I have on my calendar to do there, some of my goals for the week or for the month. And then each week I map out the week, and you know, daily, what are the tasks I want to do, what are my eating, how am I feeling, the things I want to keep track of on a daily basis, and my goals for the week as well. So here is the template, and with the journals, the way the bullet journal works, or where these types of journals work, is you start with an index page, and this allows you to really keep track of what's going on. And in the next time I do a journal, I'm going to draw a line down the middle of the page so I can have 2 columns of index, and this way you can easily find what it is you're looking for, and you'll see what these pages are as I go along. And you might save a couple pages if you think you're going to need more index. So then I suggest that you do a page that shows where you are starting in your diet and lifestyle changing process. So start with the date that it is, what your age is, your weight is, your clothing size, your measurements, whatever it is that are significant numbers for you to be tracking. If you have medical conditions that you're looking to reverse, if you have medications that you're taking, if you have, well, in terms of the medical conditions too, I would say, you know, what is your starting blood pressure, you know, your normal blood pressure, your blood sugar, whatever those types of numbers that you are tracking on a regular basis, what is it that your starting point is? You know, are you taking medications? Are you taking supplements? How are you feeling mentally and emotionally and physically, spiritually even? And then paste in there a picture of what you look like right now. And then we look at creating the vision of where it is you want to go. And the process I suggest is to write down 50 things that you don't want. You can look at what's going on in your life right now, or things that have been going on in the past, and write those things down. And when you have your 50, do more than 50 if you can. You can always do it on another page if necessary. And you want to cross off what it is you wrote here. So if you want to, I don't want to be overweight. So what do you want? And cross it off. What do you want instead? I want to be a healthy weight. I don't want to be taking this blood pressure medicine. What do you want? And cross it off. What do you want instead? I want my blood pressure to be normal on its own. And then you keep going down until you've figured out, you've made an alternative to the 50 things you don't want, and what is it that you want instead. This is a very powerful method to find out to get really clear on what your vision is. And you can do this certainly around your health and weight and diet and lifestyle, but you can also do it around other things. What do you want in a partner? What do you want in your business? Where do you want to be living? You can do this same process for all aspects of your life, and it'll really help you clarify what it is you want and what it is you don't want. Then after you've done that, I would take the information that you wrote in here, and these are just loose pages I use to make the template, but this would be in your bound notebook. And as you see, starting point, creating the vision, those are the things I have on my index. The starting point, the goals, page 2 to 6, because I'm numbering the pages. Some journals you can get with page numbers already. If they don't have numbers, then you number them. So it's page 2 through the whole visioning process. So going by this, then what it is I want instead. Think about your life 5 years from now. And so then you begin to write it. And you write it as if it's currently happening. So I am healthy, energetic, vibrant, in as much detail as possible. And put feeling into it, not just statistics. As much feeling states as you can put in here, good is good too. And then I feel pain-free, my body is strong, I have, it could be feelings that you have, it could be things that you have, like I have a brand new job because of my new focus in life, and then in general about your life. So as much detail as you can, what you want your life to look like in 5 years. Then if this is 5 years, okay, so then what is your life going to be like at the end of this next year? So write that down, the 1 year goals that will help you get to your 5 year goals. And then we want some 90-day goals. So in 90 days, these are the goals I need to get to in 90 days so that I can get to my 1 year goals, so that I can get to my 5 year goals. So write those down. Here's some suggested things. One of the things, like I said, about this kind of journal method is you can create it to be what you need. This may not be what you want. If it isn't, you put what you want in, and it's something that you will evolve over time. I know for me, when I looking at things to make, I often will go through my recipe books and find things that I am interested in making, and then I kind of forget what those were, and it's hard to go back. So instead, this is what I'm starting to do, is to write them down here on a recipe page with what the recipe is and where it is. And this is spicy kale salad in my Food for the Soul from Mama's Kitchen book, and it's on page 39. So I know this recipe is one I want to make sure that is on my regular repertoire. Zanzibar potatoes, that's in this Taste of Zanzibar book on page 61. So I know where to go and find that one. And spicy potatoes. And I want to do this macaroni and cheese in Vegan Reach's Everyday Kitchen. That's on page 166. So I just make sure that so that I'm not like struggling, okay, now what was it and what am I going to make? So I'm going to be doing this particularly with the raw recipes, because those are the ones that I have a harder time keeping up with. So I'm going to be making a page for recipes. And then you could do it just like this, all jumbled up, or you could do it by meal or type of food. So you could do a page of breakfast recipes, a page of main dish recipes, a page of salad recipes, however you think that'll work best for you. I just have the one here for now. But you could, continue on doing pages of different types of recipes. And then if you need to, you might have a page of cooking information, such as, here's how to do a egg, how to replace eggs in recipes. Here's a flax egg. Here's, or you can use applesauce or bananas. As you learn different skills, different things that you need for your recipes, you could put them down in here so that it's easy to go back and find when you are making the recipe, when you're trying to create something. And once again, cooking info's on page 10, recipes are 7 through, and I just put 7. I didn't put the rest of the pages yet. And let's say I got the recipe pages up to 9, and then I really wanted to go further. Well, I could just make a comma and then write whatever the next page is, whenever it is that comes up, and it may not be till page 20 before I start writing more recipes. Well, I could just put 20 here also. And then also on this page here, I could say, I could put an arrow and say 20 to show that on page 20 this continues. Then you might write like websites that I like, that have recipes on it that you want to go to. So, any kind of things that you think that will help you in meeting your lifestyle change goals. Here's, for me, my Qigong. Here's how to do the 8 brocades. So I could write down here to help me remember. So whatever the things are that you need to know, to refer back to, you put that in your journal. And then we get to the tracking of things. So each month, create you could either do it like this, where it's just the calendar spread out like this. And it's good to then write on this, what are the things that you're going to be doing. And I have staff meetings and lunch with so-and-so, report due, travel back home. You might say, well, why do I need to put all that? But, it may be that these events will impact how you are able to continue with the diet choices that you want to make, or whether you need to move your exercise to another day or time or something. So it's important to get this all laid out, which will help in your further planning as we go. I just printed this calendar out and pasted it in, or you could draw it out. Or you can even do something more like this, where you just write down the numbers, the day of 1 through 31, and then the first is Thursday, the second is Friday, so then the day of the week that it is, and then you could just write those same things here. For me, I need to see it more like this visually, but it's up to you what works for you. It's really not that difficult to draw them out either. And if that's something that you enjoy doing, but feel free to just print and paste. So then the other thing that I would put on the monthly page would be my goals for the month. Here's sample goals: try 1 new recipe each week, turn off the TV at 9:30, no cell phone in bed, whatever it is your goals are that will help you to reach your 90-day goals. Because remember, you have your goals for what you're going to be, what you want to accomplish in 90 days. So what do we need to do this month in order to get us towards those 90-day goals? Here's recipes I want to try. As you're going through and you come across something that you want to put in this month, write it down here. This is a habit tracker, and I showed you a little bit of mine in my current journal. I find this to be very powerful. Is when I can see visually, okay, this is something that I haven't been doing, it makes it much more likely that I'm going to pick it up and start doing it again. Or if it's towards the end of the day and I see I've done everything but except for this one thing, then I'll just go ahead and do it so that I can have the whole row across checked. And it's something very satisfying about having it all checked off, and it's a way of being accountable to yourself. So I just have the days of the month down here, the list of what the habits are that I want to track. Here I said walk, drink 32 ounces of water, go to bed at 10, read, meditate, whatever it is your habits are. And then each day when you do it, on the third, here's the things I did on that day. So you just would check it off. Now, this is to encourage you, but you don't want to use this as a punishment. I mean, it shouldn't be like feel bad about yourself. I give myself permission to not do things if I just really don't feel like it. But this is a good way for me to see what I'm doing and encourage me to keep it up. And I put this little sticky thing on here. It's a little post-it note sticky that I can peel off, and I just move it to the next page as I'm going. And this makes it very easy for me to find my habit tracker. Here's the one I did the first part of the second half of October, and you see it was a lot more days I missed. And I said, okay, I'm going to do better this time, and I've been doing a lot better this time, much better this time. Many more days where I've done all of the things that I want to do. If you buy a journal that's made for like a bullet journal style, they will have two or three ribbons in it so that you can put one ribbon right on your habit tracker page, one ribbon in whatever your current daily page is. Those are handy too, but otherwise you can use these peel off tab kind of things. So here's another version of the habit tracker that I did this way. It's a little bigger, give you bigger squares. And this is another reason why the grid style or the dot style pages are easier, because you can just, you don't even have to draw the lines. You could just fill it in, write it across, and then you'd have the squares are already there. So then there are different ways to track as things go on. This is so for the week of November 4th to 10th, and write out. I have on here the tasks, events, and notes for the day, Sunday through Saturday. The menu plan, what I plan to have for breakfast, for lunch, dinner, and here it says BJ's Restaurant because I'm going out to eat that day. Once again, the goals for the week that'll help me reach my monthly goals. You can write an inspirational quote for yourself, a shopping list of things you'll need for your menus. Future log are things that you're going to need that you want to do later, another week, further in the future, but you write it on here so you don't forget it, or notes to yourself for the future. Once again, if you use the grid kind, it's kind of easy just to draw a line along the lines. If you don't want to do the columns, I mean, you can do it as fancy or as unfancy as you like. And some people get very fancy. I'll go take a look on Pinterest or Instagram or something, or YouTube, and you'll see all the fancy things people do. One thing I've done for mine is I've created, this doesn't fit for this page, but I've created a template so that when it's the next week, I can just quickly draw it out. I have a little ruler that I use to draw my lines. It takes me no more than 15 minutes really to set my week up for the next week. And I showed you how I do my weeks like this. And like I said, it just took me 15 minutes or so to get this one set up. Then because we want to get as much detail as we can for every day. You may not need to do all of this forever, but for now, while you're really trying to make the changes, I would suggest doing a one page per day, or maybe even more than one page. So we have the date at the top, then what I ate and drank, or here's a simpler version. This was kind of me being a little fancy, but you could certainly do it just plain, just like this, just So your food log, what I ate and drank, what I did, so your activities, how I feel physically, how my mental and emotional state is, things, my wins and gratitudes, things that went well, things that were challenges that, maybe caused you to not do the things that you really wanted to do. So I wanted to order steak at the restaurant. I couldn't resist the cookie at the checkout. You know, what are the things that were the challenges? And it's important to write these down, because recognizing your challenges will help you create a plan to prevent those challenges from throwing you off track in the future. So, and so if you see here, what I said, mental and emotional, I was feeling positive and good all day. Then at dinner, Fred made a snarky comment about my idea and my mood sank. And so my insights here was that one negative comment had more power than all the good things of all the day. So, you know, as much as you can put down here, the better. Just another way of doing the same thing. You could even just write it across. So, you know, food log, activities, you know, you don't have to necessarily do it in box. I like to do it like this because it helps keep me focused on what it is I need to do, or what it is I need to fill out. And then if you wanted, you could go with a Dear Diary pace kind of style after that. If you wanted to, you know, give more details, you can. But the main part of it is right in here. And then, you know, maybe at the end of every week or at the end of the month, you can go back over the days and have a page that is a summary of the week, or of the month, and what it is that you notice are the times that give you problems. What are you noticing are the things that keep you strong. And then with that information, you and your coach, or you on your own, can begin to create a plan for dealing with. So if I know that one negative comment has more power than all the good things of the day, what do I need to do so that those negative comments don't have that impact on me? What can I say to myself when I notice that my mood is sinking? And how can I ensure that my self-confidence is strong and powerful enough? Or maybe I need to say, Fred, that's a bunch of BS. What is it that I could do in this situation so that it didn't cause my mood to sink and make me want to go buy that cookie? So this is how to do a food journal, how to do a health journal, a lifestyle journal, in a way that will be able to help you really identify the things that are going on in your life. So there you go. There's my bullet journal style template for creating your health journal that can really help you stick to your diet and lifestyle goals, make the lifelong changes that you want, lose the weight that you want, get off your medications so that you can be who you're meant to be and do the things that you're called to do. Download your template below at opari.net/template. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you click subscribe so you can hear about when I post my next video. Till next time, I'm Ama Opari. Kwaheri.